10 years ago, exactly September 1997, I came to Dubai and I decided to join Jumeirah, primarily because I'd like to help out my family.
And I was looking for a job. And somebody told me there is a hotel they're building somewhere far away from the city, and you should go and apply for a job. And I asked him where I can find a job for security. He said, do you have a CV? I said, fine, yeah, I have it. He said, okay, let's go for an interview.
I had my first interview. I only had to go in once. I only did a couple of minutes of interview and I got in.
I accepted the job, everything went well. I signed the paper, signed the contract. Then from there, they sent me to the staff accommodation.
5 blocks, a clubhouse, somewhere to feed them, and I thought, what have I done?
And the car was driving through the desert and desert and desert, and I was really shocked, and I was start to think where I'm going.
There's nothing. I saw one dead tree. There was nothing else, and it was really bare, and no stores.
Where we ended at the staff accommodation, it's somewhere in the desert, in a place called Al Quoz. And the funny thing, that you see camels roaming around. What's this? I never seen this. This is the place where I'm gonna live.
You have to walk like miles.
Yes, it was so far. There was no phones. It was crazy.
There was nothing.
One mobile phone between every one of us.
And that was a challenge as well.
But in the first batch, we sent everybody for breakfast. We all went to the cafeteria. They all had cafeteria. They all came back, and we started to allocate the keys for the first 72 people that had arrived. And at the back, there was this one colleague that was left, and we couldn't find his name, and we couldn't find his key allocation or anything. And when we dug a little bit deeper, we'd actually picked him up by mistake at the airport. He just tagged on to Jumeirah colleagues. So when I'd said to him, he was actually working for the Hilton, and I said, I'm very sorry, you don't work for Jumeirah. And so I had to send him to Hilton. He was very disappointed that he had to leave because he was very impressed with Oasis Village. And that's all those years ago when we had nothing, when we had just sand.
One of my bosses just loved chocolate, and I would, have all these chocolate bars in my drawer. And I remember Mr. Lawless coming to my drawer to take some of that chocolate, and I used to lock the drawer. And he'd say, where is the key? I need some chocolate. And he'd keep rummaging my drawer for that chocolate. And it used to be Ivan and GL finishing all of that.
And I remember one day, actually I think it was the 29th of June 1997, when we had the implosion of the Chicago Beach Hotel.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Excuse me, would you stop? Excuse me.
Fire.
We looked up at what was then Chicago Beach Village, which is now Medina Jumeirah. And looking at Medina Jumeirah, we looked over, and I said to Brigadier Barty, I said, Michael, wouldn't that be a lovely resort someday? So he's a very straightforward gentleman. He said, Gerald, that's a stupid idea, and I'm going to tell Sheikh Mohammed it was yours. I said, thank you very much, Michael. That's very kind.
And when I moved to the Burj, I started with this aquarium, and now I work with the aquarium for 8 years. And I looked at the tank, and I just thought, oh, this is the place I should work in. There was a fish named George, the biggest Napoleon wrasse we had before this. I used to feed him, and he'll come and show his hump, and I can touch his hump, and he likes getting stroked like that, and he used to come and go. He developed some kind of tumors in his heart, and later he just was going to die. We knew it, and on the final day when it was going to die, we knew that it's going to die tomorrow, and it came up and its eyes had gone inside, and it was literally telling that I'm going to die. And that's my favorite fish.
I think most of the moments I would remember are probably not so much heartwarming as heart-stopping. And they usually revolve around His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. He rang me up one day, His Highness, and said, "Where will I come for lunch?" And I said, "Oh, well, I don't know, I'll think of some place." He said, "Call me back." So then I called him back, and I said, "Why don't you try Al Khayal? You haven't been to our Lebanese restaurant." He said, "Okay, very good. We'll be there about 1:30, and there'll be about 20 of us." I said, "Okay, Your Highness, thank you very much." So I put the phone down, and then my office was on the first floor, same level as the restaurant. So I walked in on the first floor, and then a thought struck me, did somebody tell me we were closing for lunch in this restaurant? I said, no, they couldn't have said that. So I walked by Carnivale, and I said, the Al Khayal is open, and everybody was looking at me. And then I got to Al Khayal, I pushed the doors were shut. Absolutely closed. We had closed for lunch. I said, oh, what am I going to do? But this is Jumeirah, you see. All the colleagues got together. Immediately, we sent a bus up to Al Khuz. Colette Lehman and everybody got everybody out of bed, all the Al Khayal staff, get down quickly down to the Jumeirah Beach Hotel. And that was 11 o'clock in the morning. By 1:30, His Highness arrived with all his entourage, and it was like we were always open. Everything was set up, everything was there. But you should have seen me panicking around the hotel as I ran back into the office before, when I first found out that the place was actually closed. It's just one of our funny stories, but we got there in the end.
It's quite funny here in this during the lunchtime, because inside Marina, when you sit, you can't see people from walking outside, they cannot see inside. So lots of people get up from the beach, from the swimming pool, and they walk around in this area, and they'll come here and they just stand next to the mirror and start tighten up their dress up. And people who are sitting inside, they start laughing at what's happening, because they cannot see what's inside, but the inside people can see outside.
I remember before the opening of Jumeirah Beach, we had the big rain. I mean, I tell you, it was flooding everywhere. And I got a call at 3:30 from Mr. Lawless. He said, Munir, where are you? I said, what do you mean, where are you? And I didn't hear it. He was in the plant room, 3:30 in the morning. And I went there, my God, it was flooding. Everything, we had to take out all the carpet, everything before the opening, all right? But we did it. You could see there is a teamwork. I mean, Mr. Rose was carrying the sand back. You can't just, I mean, everybody was moving. And we did it. Yeah, always, I mean, I know one thing, if you don't have such things in life, you never remember the good things.
When we start, I think we have only 260 colleagues. Now we have more than 10,000 colleagues in Jumeirah.
I remember the good team who started with us. They started, that's what I said, Jumeirah, it's always valuing the recognition of their team.
For 10 years, I've been the voice of Jumeirah, and I'm really proud to be that voice of Jumeirah.
Well, 10 years is only a milestone, it's only a number. But whether it's 10 years or 20 years, it's going to keep on going, and there's plenty more to come.
10 years we have completed, it's like completing 10 kilometers of marathon, and still there's a long way to go.
It's 10 years now. Every single year was with a challenge. Every single year was with enjoyment. Every single year was with success.
Lots of memories that you cannot easily remove from my thoughts and from my heart.
And I'm very proud to say that I've actually grown with this company.
This is a very nice company.
I go back through my records and I go back through my achievements and I say, wow, we did this, we did that, all this was in my operation, all this was of my achievement. Wow.
It's been an amazing journey with Jumeirah.
So all in all, it's been a great story, but all I would like to say is that all of this occurred not just because of the buildings. It happened because of the vision of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, and it happened because of you, the colleagues, who have worked so hard to make this company such a fantastic success. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Jumeirah.
Happy birthday to Jumeirah.
Wrong.